Hello, welcome to Wanga Pesalam. இன்னைக்கு என்னுடைய guest Preetha. Hello, Preetha.
Hi, thanks for inviting me to your
Oh,
show.
you're welcome. So today we're going to be talking about the Netflix Telugu movie called The Girlfriend. Okay. So I know that you watched the movie three times. So tell me, why did you watch it three times? So what was so amazing about the movie to watch it three times?
Well, I feel like the reason why I watched three times is just want to understand the movie completely. Right, the first time when I saw it, I think I was more biased, and then the second time when I saw, I understood. I became more unbiased, and then the third time, I really want to understand the whole story. I was trying to analyze the whole story, every scene by scene to understand it better.
Okay. So when you say biased the first time, so what do you mean by that? And how did the bias go away? So now you became unbiased after the second and third watch.
So the first time when I watched, I mean, as a female, right, and I felt like every one of the every female has lived that version, right, of what she has gone through. Boma has gone through in that movie. So I think I saw in the angle of a female perspective, but the second time when I watched it, I looked at both the perspective. I was like, okay, a female is, I saw the female version, I saw the male version, and I understood what the hero was going through, what the heroine was going through, and I understood both their perspectives. I think from that, from that angle, it's I think the whole life is about learning, right? So you have to learn, and I feel that everyone in that movie was becoming more matured and how to handle themselves slowly throughout that movie, right? So that is what I felt like. I mean, for me, I looked in different angles second time and third time also. I was trying to figure out, why did Buma, from the beginning. I was first time my thing was like, oh, it's a love story, right? And then I can see that the love became more controlled, love. And then after that, I looked at it. I was like, oh, it's not even about love and all that. I think the Buma was suffering from not able to say no, and she was not able to stand up for her own thoughts. That's the beginning of the story, right? So, but as I did it like three times, I understood both the angles.
So when you first see Boomang, right, you see a girl like bringing the suitcase up the stairs, and the friend asks her, "Hey, do you want any help?" She cannot even ask for help, right? She knows she wants help, so she cannot even ask for help. And then the movie just starts from there. So tell me, so like, what did you think of like that characterization where like you see a very, 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 what do you say, a very meek girl who is so afraid to ask for help or who's unable to ask for help. So what do you think about that?
Yeah. So yeah, that's an excellent scene, right? So she's struggling up the stairs with her suitcases, and all that, and she's not able to ask for help. Even one of her roommate, coming to help her. At that moment, she's not saying yes or no, because she's not able to make up her mind to say this is what I want. Either she has to ask for help, or she should say, like, no, it's okay, I can take it up. So, but even without her asking for help, whenever someone is coming forward to help her, she accepts it without saying, uh no, I can take it up the stairs, right? So I think it's more like a her I think the way how I look at it is, she's not she's not put in that situation. And then when she has struggled, she has come to this graduate school or wherever, that she's up away from her parents, and then she wants to do by herself. um, the basic here is the whole point is she's not able to say what she wants to say,
Okay. So
right?
basically,
Whether
she does not know how to say no. That's the main thing, and she does not even know how to ask for help. Those are the two main characterization of Boomer here, right?
right, she's not able to voice out her opinion, voice out
Opinions.
what she wants. I think she's struggling. If she says no, how does it look like in other, in the society? It's basically societal pressure,
Pressure.
right?
Okay.
So she doesn't understand if she says no, what others are going to think of, right? So that's the whole thing. That's what she's going through in her mind.
So, so now let's look at the Vikram character, right? So the Vikram character, as we see from the beginning, he clearly shows himself as this aggressive guy, right? Who has been pampered. You can see from the very beginning itself who's been pampered. I don't think he has ever heard the word no in his life either, right? Things have always happened for him, right? So what do you think about the when you said that after the second or third viewing, you see from the male's point of view. So how did you see the Vikram character from the male's point of view?
So from male's point of view, I think Vikram doesn't know, the whole, like, the whole life it looks like somebody's doing things for him, like, and when he was like his younger self, like in his childhood, his mom was taking care of him, and he has never done anything for himself, right? And then when he came to the college and he's falling in love with this girl, and I believe, even at that point, she's out of love, or out of the initial relationship that she's having. As a female, she's trying to go and clean his room, feed him, all the things that a mom could do, and she's just taking over without him asking for it, but she's like initiating all that. And then
So
for
why do you think,
him,
so like, why do you think that she's doing all these things without even like him initiating it? So why do you think that she's doing that?
I think that she has that, she likes him. Obviously,
But do you
when a
really think
girl
she
likes
likes him? I'm still not convinced if she really likes him though. But yeah, but keep going.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so let's
she
say she
doesn't
likes him.
love him.
Okay.
She still doesn't know whether she loves him or not, right? She just accepts everything. And the very first scene where he's asking her to come and watch a movie, even at that point, she's not able to say no. And for in Vikram's perspective, whatever that he wants, he was able to get it from his childhood. Like you said, I don't think anybody would have said no to him. So his mom has done a lot of things for him, because he's the male child in the family. I think they've given more importance to him. And then when he came to college, that's what he's expecting, right? He wants that attention from everyone. Even in the very first scene where he was asked to dance, he was dancing, that kind of gets all the attention towards him. So when this girl Booma is doing everything for him, he just takes it, but he just takes it to his advantage, right? And again, like, he doesn't know that is wrong, right? The whole story, he's still not able to, I don't think till the end of the story he doesn't understand that he did a lot of, according to him, whatever that he has done is right, right? He hasn't done anything
But I
wrong
think
because
he
nobody
feels
has
bad in
taught
the
him.
end. Maybe he feels bad in the end about writing all the graffiti and stuff. Maybe I don't know. But still, yeah.
And
I,
that's out of anger,
anger. Yeah,
that
anger.
what,
Anger.
like, because he has heard no for the first time, and that has actually come out in a different way. He just wants her, one way or other. But at the same time, when she said no, he wants to make sure nobody gets her.
Yes.
All right. So that's
So,
the
one of the weakest points in the movie, according to me, is the reason that she gives him when she breaks up with him, right? She says, "You have like 6 arrears, so now we're going to take care of me," right? So that reasoning, did you agree with the reasoning? Did you think that the reasoning was good or valid or whatever?
So that reasoning is not a good reason, but then at the same time, I believe that she's thought she's been thinking what to tell him because his maturity level is very low, right? If she goes and says like this whole that she's whatever that she has gone through with him is the reason why she wants to break up, I don't think he would understand at that point of time, because for him whatever that he has done is out of love. He's taking care of her. Even from the beginning, he for according to him, he has given everything for her. At the same time he's expecting the whole attention towards him, right? So from his perspective, whatever that he has done is right. Right, it looks like the whole thing is at the same time he's controlling her, and that control is disguised, right, by for the love. He doesn't understand it. So if even if she has explained everything during that time, I don't think he was able to understand all that. He wouldn't have, so that's the reason why I think she was walking like back and forth, trying to think what to tell him, right? And then finally she settled on this one because that's the only thing that he can understand. Yes, I do have backlogs, right? And then even though it's a very dumbest reason that she's giving, but I think his maturity level is pretty much that's it. That's the level that she's thinking that he can understand.
So, the other point of view, what people are saying online is there is a section of audience who thinks like Vikram is a good guy, right? So the reason that they are giving is number one, he's always been truthful to her, right? He has never tried to hide himself to her. The very first scene they meet, he's like beating a cop and everything, and he has already shown her that he's a very, very aggressive person, uh, quickly prone to anger and everything. That is number one. Number two, he takes her to the mom's house and tells her, "This is what I want you to be."
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he's being like very, very upcoming and very honest about his expectations, right?
Right.
And whenever there is a problem with the dad, whenever the dad finds him in the room and everything, he does not say, "Okay, you know what, let's just break up." The immediate thought is, "I have to protect her. The only way to protect her is for us to get married,"
Yeah.
right? So that's what they're saying. So, like, what do you think about like from this point, from this angle?
Yeah, well, he is very clear what he wants because that is what he knows. That's what he's brought up, right? And at the same time, I think he, well, we cannot say like, yeah, that's what he knows. Like at the other side of it, he should have understood her better, right? This girl has come, and then I think the whole perspective of how he's looked at in different things. Um, I don't I mean that's the level of understanding that he has, right? So there's nothing that he could do, and he's very from the yeah, and I totally agree to it. From the beginning, he was very clear in what he wants. This is what he wants, and then whoever that she's interacting with, especially for boys, he just thinks that oh, she might go away from him, and the attention is going to go towards that person, right? He was trying for every level. He's trying to make sure that he's just controlling her and getting her to into his space, and then he doesn't realize she has her own feelings. She wants to do what she wants to do. He doesn't agree to her feelings. I know at the end of the movie, and whenever she says like, "Oh, you have so many backlogs, and that's why I want to break up," and then he asks her, "What about my feelings?" Right? But then he doesn't, the whole movie, he doesn't understand that she also has feelings. And even though literature is what she's doing, literature can do a lot of things, right? And I think at one point he says, oh, what are you going to do with literature? All you have to do is just, we'll have 3 kids. So you help my mom, and take care of the kids, and I will go work, and I'll provide for you and all that. But he doesn't understand what she wants to become, right? He always looks at his own angle, and then he doesn't understand what she wants in her life,
So do
right?
you think, okay, but like, do you think that he was led to believe that she's okay with this? Because she never says no. She never objects for anything. She's feeding him, like you said, even without his own initiation, she comes to his room to provide the first aid, right?
Mm-hmm.
She then like comes back to clean the room. She then comes back to watch the movie at the night time. So a girl coming into a boy's hostel room at the night time to watch a movie. So he thinks In his mind, he's thinking, okay, this girl is slowly falling for me. So she's okay with all of these things. And then she's like feeding him like in front of everybody. Right? There are so many scenes, like the montage scenes in the song, where they're all like in the canteen. Every guy is eating by himself. He is the only one being fed by this girl, right? So, but we think all these things is like adding like more and more, what do you say? Adding like more and more belief in his thought that you know what, this girl really likes me. She really loves me. She's exact a copy of my mother. I think I'm going to be very very happy with this girl. You know, so do you think like that would have played a part in his behavior?
Yeah, I think that's to even, that's her fault, right? I mean, I wouldn't say it's that's what she is. If you see 90% of the female, especially when you come from that cultural background, they always think when you love someone, you're supposed to do, because that's the way that she's been brought up, right? But at the same time, she's doing out of her own will, right? She's doing out of her own, she's going and cleaning the room, she's doing everything out of her own will. But then he cannot take that advantage, right? He should know enough not to take that advantage. He should know she's doing all this because she loves him, right? um I mean, I think he was led to believe that she is in love with him because she's doing everything more than what she should do, right? And at the same time, he shouldn't expect a girl to be like his mom, right?
Yeah, that I agree, and there's like a very very beautiful scene at the house where she sees the mom like in the mirror, and then she realizes, okay, my God, this is what my life is going to be. I really thought the mom character, whenever they are leaving the house, she would stop and say something to the girl, but she does not say anything to the girl. I think like they showed the mom to be like in a very, very extreme kind of way where like she doesn't even say a single word. She's quiet the entire time. She's even like her head is also down the entire time. She never even looks up. She's
Yeah.
also always like bowed down, completely subdued. And a guy being that way, being like born and brought up in that kind of household, and she sees this girl, very homely girl, very nice, very calm, very obedient. And he thought, okay, oh my God, I just found the right person. And the other thing I want to say, talk about is the friend, the Durga character, right? The Durga character, she likes Vikram. She wants to get with Vikram, but Vikram says no. Vikram says no. And he only wants Bhuma, right? Because he knows that Bhuma is the right person for him.
Yeah, Buma is his type. That's what he says. Buma is his type because Buma cannot say no.
Yeah,
And that's what he wants because his mom didn't say no to
no,
anyone, to his dad or to him. And then he is, they have brought him to a state, to her to the state where she can't even look up and say what she wants to say to her own son, right? So, and he says, and he wants her to be, I think by her character, like Buma's character, I feel like she has had the courage. She has stood up in a lot of places where you can see she has come all the way from her native, to come to do her post graduate. I think it looks like that's a long way from her house, right? And I believe even her dad is being more protective of her, and she made sure that she has come here arguing with her dad or whatever, right, and come to study. So I think she has a courage in her. It is just that, and again, she has a character where she couldn't say no to a lot of things, but then she just couldn't. Her gut, what she cannot voice out her own gut feelings,
but
right?
isn't that like a very like a contrasting thing to say? Because she was brave enough to fight her father, leave the
Mm.
village and come to the college, but she is not brave enough to say no to a stranger. Right? She was able to stand up to her father. Her father does not want to leave this village. Father wants to be there. She knows if she goes there, like she's going to be corrupted, which is what happened eventually. But this girl who was able to stand up to her own father, fight with him and then come to the city, but was not able to say no to a stranger who she has only met for a couple of times.
See,
That's a
but
very,
then
yeah,
again, fighting with a father would have come for a long way, right? She's been with a father from the childhood till that age. She's slowly getting that courage in her, right? To finally to tell him what she wants and coming out of that house. And the same thing here also happened,
Okay,
right?
makes sense.
In the minute that she sees him, she just couldn't say no, and slowly she's
Slowly she came
understanding
back.
that
Okay, yeah, that makes
progression.
sense.
And finally she breaks it off and she says, enough is enough. I want to take control of my life, right?
Okay.
But only the thing is, like, even though she understands by herself, but I think there are scenes where Durga is coming and telling her, hey, I don't think he's the right person for you. And then the HOD is also kind of advising her that she needs to take control of her own life. And these are all the trigger points where she's collecting all this information. I think she's validating. These people come as a validation for her, right? She understands what she's going through. She understands if she gets married to Vikram, her life starts and that will end. That's clearly shown in that mirror, right? When she sees herself as a mom, she's going to end up like that. And every single point that she's saying, whenever Durga comes and says this, she's kind of validating what she is thinking, and that is true. And again, the HOD comes and says the thing, and she understands, okay, whatever that I'm thinking is right. I need to get away from this thing, right? So I believe it's just a transformation of when she says no. It took a while for her to understand and then validate through someone, and then finally she's saying, okay, no. I think that's what has happened with her dad also, right? She's taken her time to say no. Again, here she has taken her time to say no, right?
So, so talk about the very first scene where the HOD asked everybody, so why do you want to do literature, right?
Yeah,
So
that's an amazing scene. I think that is exactly where the HOD understands this girl has a beautiful reason why she's here. Basically she's self-aware of what she's capable and what she's not capable, because she says, I like reading, I like to do this, but I still don't know whether I'll be able to write anything, right? So she's so self-aware of what she cannot do, and then she thinks doing this literature will help her to become a novelist in future. That's what she wants to do. So she has come to this college with a focus, with a goal, and then she's also telling the professor, this is what I wanted. But when she says that to the professor, she's more her emotions look like very submissive emotions. I think from there the HOD was able to think that, yeah, she's capable of doing it, but it's just that he can see some kind of a societal pressure in her as well. And I think that is the reason why he's asking her to read that book, right? Jane.
The Virginia
Yeah,
Woolf book.
yeah, Virginia, right? The book that, so that at least she can understand, what she wants to do. And that I think for him, if she reads a book, she's gonna gain some confidence and braveness, and he wants her to stand up for who she is. I think that is what he's trying to tell her whole movie. Every time she advises her, that's what he wants her to be.
So, have you read the book, by the way, with Virginia?
Yeah, I read the book, but there is a famous quote in that book, right, which says, even for a person, if a person wants to write, I think they wanted a financial freedom. There's two things that she talks about. Every woman should have financial freedom and also a space on her own, right, to even think. In her case, she doesn't even have a space to think. Forget about the finance, forget about the money part. She doesn't even cannot think, because every step that she wants to think something what she wants, and her boyfriend is always there with her, like doing something. Even when she was acting, right? That's again a great saying, where she was acting and then trying to, where she's spending more time with Durga,
Durga.
right? And he comes and grabs her from there, and then she has to go. Even at that point, she cannot say to him, like, I still gonna be learning a lot from Durga, and then can you wait for some time? Even at that moment, he comes and asks her, and she immediately gets up and she goes. I think she doesn't have the resistance to say what she wants to say most of the movie, right?
So
Yeah.
this father character, um, I'm not sure if he's a bad guy. So from the father's point of view, right, whatever he thought would happen to his daughter happened, right? And the worst thing for him to see is a guy coming out of a room early in the morning, like in the boxer shorts. I mean, I was laughing at the scene because they're like fighting. The father and the guy are fighting, but the guy is still in the boxer shorts, right? The father is fighting. He's going to hit him and all those things. So talk about the father and actually, like people are mad online about the fact that the father, like when she was young, he got jealous at her because she wants to be with her aunt, and then like he does not feed her the entire night. So people are saying, "Oh no, no, that is too much. Like no father will ever do that." So like, what do you think about the father character in the movie?
Well, as a father, where his whole life has been surrounded just for her, right? And he says he lives only for her and he's provided everything. And so it's more like a cultural thing, also, right? He has never, whatever that he has done is only for her because he lost his wife and mom, right, from the beginning, and he's actually raised her. So as a father, when you come to a room and then you see a guy coming out of her room, that might be the initial, whatever that he has done is probably the right thing to do, right? And I think it can be shown in a more mature level where he could have stopped for a second and asked him, hey, what are you doing in my daughter's room,
But he's in the
instead of,
village. That's how he's going to react, right?
that's how he's going to react. But then again, he doesn't have to hit him, beat him, or whatever, right? He could have dealt this a little bit patiently, but then that's all he knows, right? And then seeing someone coming out of his own daughter's room is, it's kind of scary, right? I don't I don't agree to what, like, how he reacted to it by hitting him, but he could have taken that very patiently, asking. But then the dad character is also the same as the hero's character, right? As a man, he wants to
Control
protect
daughter.
the girl and all that, right? So I feel like both have the same character, but the intention is to protect the girl, right? But then I don't see anything. Yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's wrong, but then even when the HOD says, like, they don't have any rights to talk about who they're falling in love or who they don't like, they don't really care about it because they're old enough, they're adults. So I feel like the dad doesn't understand that my daughter has become an adult, right? And she has every right to choose who she wants to be with, or not, right? I think that could have handled a little bit more patiently. And even after he leaves the place, right, and she's trying to call him and he doesn't pick up the call, even at the last scene where she really wanted his help, right, and he doesn't want to help her out, and he says,
Horrible things to her.
with horrible things to her, and then I think that's like, you cannot do that, right? And I mean, no matter what, your daughter's daughter, when she needs help, as a dad, you have to help her and guide her, just take her, right?
Yeah.
So that's something that was not, I think that shows the character of the dad. um, you know
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing I didn't agree with the HOD when he said that they're all adults, the one thing I didn't really agree was I know they're adults, they're living the adult life, but we are shown a boy going to a women's hostel time after time after time. He literally spends every day over there, right? We have seen so many shots have been coming out. At some point, the manager should have asked, "Hey, why is this guy spending so much time at the women's hostel?" Right?
but
That
these are
is,
all postgraduate kids, though,
but
right?
still, I mean, anyway, yeah, I thought the college hostel would add some rules, but that's fine. So let's talk about one of the my favorite scene. In fact, the best scene for me is when he writes a graffiti and then she's inside the room and somebody is coming out to clean the graffiti. You just see the water being like, poured through the door, and then she opens up. It's Durga cleaning up the graffiti, and the first thing she says to her is, "It's not your fault." Right? And then like Bhuma just breaks down everything. So let's talk about the Durga character though. The Durga character is one of the equally important character like the Bhuma character in the movie.
Yeah. So the other character is completely, opposite of Booma's character, right? She can always voice out what she wants. and she takes control of her life. She doesn't like anyone to involve in her life, and I think that is what that's what she says. Like, a person like Vikram wouldn't date a girl like me, because all that person wants is a girl to say yes for everything and then just act the way that what how he wants her to. But that's not gonna what Durga's gonna do, right? So I think I feel like Durga's character is more like a maybe her brought up is more like, the parents have brought her up in a very more exposed character, and she has, she's been learned or taught how to voice out her opinion, right? And that's the reason why she can take control of her life, and she can see. Even that is actually shown in the those stage actors, like they're acting out those at the stage. You can really see Durga is really good in what she does, because it's just a simple
She's a
fact.
very confident person, with a very
Yeah, she's
confident
very
person.
confident, and that is how, she can say what she wants, and understand. So that's the whole, it has molded her the way that she is right now, is because I think she's got all the freedom she wanted in her life. I don't think she might have had a dad like Booma's dad. Maybe her brought up is completely different from Booma's brought up, right? So that's why I think this is all because of how she's been brought up. Because the whole society expects in Booma's, wherever that she is from, expects her to behave as a woman, behave like, she cannot even say, always like please others. That is what I think she's been brought up. Don't, she never thinks of herself. But in Durga's character, it's more like, I will help others, I will do everything, but then I will take control of myself.
Yeah.
So that shows when Bhuma is asking help to Durga, Durga's ready to help her, teach her, and everything. I don't think she has any. She's not a selfish person, but then she's more helpful person. But at the same time, she's also she's a woman who wants to voice out her opinion and be who she is. So
So
yeah,
let's
that's
talk about
a
the
great character.
climax though. So did you like the climax, the way everything just unfolds, she just loses her shit and then completely goes to the stage and then like says whatever she has to say? Like the
Yeah, I
climax?
think I think that she's been cornered or pushed to that extent where she thinks, um because in every Vikram is saying like he won't leave her alone, this is he's gonna shame her in every possible way just because they made love so many times and they kissed so many times. But those are all not the reasons. Making love and kissing is not a, it's not something that he should not like hold it against her, because it's two people involved in that. And both should be, if that is something that they have to be ashamed of, then it goes to both of them.
Which is what she says. Yeah, which is
That's
what
what
she
she
says.
says. So I think she's been pushed, and she's thought in, she at that point she understands, okay, you know what, I just need to come out and tell everyone, so that she can move on with her life, and then whatever that he needs to do, that's her thing, right? Because I think he just holds only that reason uh, to punish her or to whatever, but then she comes out of it finally, and she's like, okay, enough is enough. Who cares? I think that's more about who cares about the society. I think everyone should be thinking of that, because who is society at the end of the day, right? Nobody's going to, they might look at you today and then they might forget about it and move on to a different thing next day. Who cares, right? So I think that scene tells that not only she's coming out of this relationship and she wants to be herself and she wants to take control of herself, at the same time she's also saying, I don't care about the society anymore, I don't care about what others think, I care about myself and what I wanted to do, right? So I think that's the end. That's the climax of the story. I believe that's an amazing climax. And I think even when we see the last part where she's working
It's
and she's
independent
trying to write a
working. Yeah.
novel, and then she's also making sure that she's talking to her dad while driving, but she's not with her dad. I think now she's more mature enough to handle herself, and on her own she's traveling. She's doing all that, but at the same time she's making sure that dad is okay. Like that's the only relationship that she has at
And
that
she's
point.
single too. She's single and
And
successful.
she's single. That's a good
Yeah.
thing. She didn't go land on anyone's relationship again, but she's single. And I think this whole movie has taught her a lesson how to be single and how to handle herself, and how to say no to different things. That's a good climax.
So, thank you for this. So, this was a good review. Okay, so let's find some other movie pretty soon. I hope it's a very light-hearted movie rather than a very dramatic movie. And then so we can all laugh and enjoy the review. Okay?
Okay,
So, thank you very much.
thank you.